Hey friends, it's Free Opinion bringing you my free opinion, and we're gonna listen to her speak a little bit, and I'll give my 2 cents. But there's only two real parts that I want to bring up, which actually I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to it.
In other computerized voting systems here as well, not just Dominion, were created in Venezuela at the direction of Hugo Chavez to make sure he never lost an election after one constitutional referendum came out the way he did not want it to come out.
Okay, so our voting is done on software that she said that they have a witness that said yes, in Venezuela we showed Hugo Chavez how to fucking manipulate the votes so he wins every time. So that's one thing. And bro, there's way too much. Wait a second. Then there's this.
And part of his organization, there are ties of the Dominion leadership to the Clinton Foundation and to other known politicians in this country. Just to give you a brief description of how this worked, I'm going to quote from a letter that was written, and I will read that to make sure I get the quotes right. This person was objecting to the United States acquisition of Sequoia voting systems by Smartmatic, a foreign-owned company. I believe this transaction raises exactly the sort of foreign ownership issues that CFIUS is best positioned to examine for national security purposes. It's undisputed that Smartmatic is foreign-owned and it has acquired Sequoia. They keep changing the names as they go along. Different times when a problem comes up, they just create another corporation and call it a different name. But it was a voting machine company doing business in the United States. Sequoia voting machines were used to record over 125 million votes during the 2004 presidential election in the United States. Smartmatic now acknowledges that Antonio Mujica, a Venezuelan businessman, has controlling interest in Smartmatic, but the company has not revealed who all the Smartmatic owners are.
Look, man, I remember back in 2016 when all of y'all lefties were like, the Russian interference. But now that we have evidence of foreign interference from a company that is owned by foreign entities, y'all in the media are silent. Y'all are being quiet about the whole thing because it's your guy that won this time. Shit, we didn't even have any irregularities like we did with this election in the last one. There wasn't no, hey, we're going to stop counting at 4 a.m. and send everybody home and then continue counting for another 2 hours. There wasn't no weird increase of votes for one candidate versus the other at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., whenever the fuck it was. But you guys want to say, man, nah, Donald Trump is crazy. We have proof, and the receipts are coming out. The letter that was written in 2006. Man, y'all motherfuckers are crazy thinking that nothing's going on with this election.
To the press, Smartmatic's owners are hidden through a web of offshore private entities, and that is, in fact, true.
And she tells you flat out, these are foreign entities. How are we allowing foreign interference when y'all on the left were whining about Russia, people in Russia paying a little bit of money to run Facebook ads? But when it's actual foreign interference, y'all are quiet. All right.
Smartmatic has been associated with the Venezuelan government led by Hugo Chavez, which is openly hostile to the United States, and of course, as we all know, communistic and really brutalizing its own people. The system has been continued there by Mr. Maduro and ensured his election. Smartmatic's possible connection to the Venezuelan government poses a potential national security concern in the context of its acquisition of Sequoia, because electronic voting machines are susceptible to tampering, and insiders are in the best position to engage in such tampering. This letter expresses concern of the Chicago 2006 primary election. And it ends by saying the products and services that are of Venezuelan origin, and evaluate Smartmatic's ownership to determine who could have influence and control over these and other Sequoia products and services are important to the national security of the United States. This letter was written to Hank Paulson on October 6, 2006 by Congresswoman Carolyn B. Maloney.
So Miss Maloney wrote that in 2006 about these systems. Why are we trusting them now in 2000? I'm sorry, but technology only got better. Hackers only got better. So, I mean, it's easier now to cheat an election than it was back then. But man, I'm just talking shit on the internet. Now, listen to what she says right here, because this is what really blew my mind. And right after she says this, I'll give my thoughts on it, and then I will end the video there because I have more shit to be looking into.
Mr. Biden, nothing to worry about here, and they were going to F Trump. His social media is filled with hatred for the president and for the United States of America as a whole, as are the social media accounts of many other Smartmatic people. There has been widespread use of this. Dominion itself is utilized in 2,000 jurisdictions in 30 states. It has been uncertifiable in multiple states who realized all the problems that it had, including Texas. Experts have described.
Oh, another thing about Dominion workers, when all of this stuff started coming out, they started to delete Dominion off of their LinkedIn profiles. I showed that, and I believe it was the very last video I made about Susan Powell. I mean, not Susan Powell, Sidney Powell. So, we know that they're trying to distance themselves. The heads of the corporation are moving around trying to basically get lost in the fucking ether so nobody can find them and question them. If these people were all doing 100% legal shit, why would they be trying to hide? Why would they be trying to hide that they worked for the company? Why are there fucking software engineers in Serbia? Makes no sense. Not all of their software engineers, but there's a good portion of them that are. Yeah, that makes no sense at this point. Let's listen to what she says right here, because this is what blew my fucking mind. This is how Maduro won, this is how Chavez won, and this is how Biden won.
From a Princeton group of 3 professors to experts that we have talked to about its end user vulnerabilities. People can admittedly go in and change whatever they want. They can set the ratio of votes from one thing to another. They can say that a Biden vote counts as 1.25 and a Trump vote counts as 0.75. And those may be the numbers that were actually used here. It's not just the swing states that were affected. The algorithm was likely run across the country to affect the entire election. Like I said, we only discovered it this year because of the overwhelming number of votes for President Trump in the swing states that caused the machines to have to shut down for them to backfill for adding votes. We have evidence of different numbers of votes being injected into the system, the same identical, unique 6-digit number multiple times in at least 2 states that we've analyzed so far, and I'm talking about like 341,542 votes for Biden and 100,012 for Trump. There's no explanation, no logical explanation for the same numbers being injected 20 minutes apart into the machine.
In different areas, they found that the same 6-digit numbers were being injected into the systems. In different areas. You guys aren't seeing a problem with this. Now, if they were off by a couple digits, okay, whatever. We could just call that a fucking anomaly. But for them to be the exact same number, what is the statistic probability of at the 20 minutes apart, two different areas come up with the same amount of votes for both candidates? I would say that's pretty improbable. I wouldn't say impossible because weirder shit has happened, but very fucking improbable. But hey, man, listen, I'm just some asshole on the internet. This is why this is why I'm not in some type of fucking statistical analysis classes in college. I'm just an industrial tech. Like, I just learned how to rip apart houses and put them back together. So, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this, and go out there and watch the whole fucking thing. Otherwise, my video would be 3 hours long if I watched this whole thing and broke down every part for you. So go over, check it out. I'm going to link it in the description. Please, let me know what you guys think. Because, to me, when they said release the Kraken, they are fucking showing evidence. They're telling you, bro, we have the receipts. This is what happened. These are the exact numbers that are found in two different areas. We have a person that worked in this system telling us, yo, yeah, these are the back doors. This is how you use them. The user manual. I put the fucking part up that I thought was weird the other day, where it was like, oh, you could reject ballots and then delete those ballots. Exactly what she said with the drag and drop delete folder. So, hey, man, you guys have a nice day. I'm going to go look at some more crazy shit on the internet. Try to decompress from this one. Please, guys, when you're out and about today or tomorrow, depending on where you're at, be nice to somebody. You never know. It might save your life. And, bro, with this entire fucking thing, this is all the media has to dwell on. These are just 3 out of the fucking bunch that I've seen now. Instead of taking what he said and being like, hey, here's what he said, they're like, oh, let's try to make it seem as outlandish as possible so people don't actually think he's telling the truth. We see you, media. This is why he ate y'all alive earlier on fucking stage. And this is why none of us fucking listen to you anymore.